Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Seekers. Just did a incredible interview with Major General Vallely, and he talked about how there were 100 people on a list that was given to President Trump, of course, his team, Pam Bondi, and so forth. Two of the people at the top of that list for arrest are Joe Biden and Obama. Both, as many of us know, have committed major treason on many different levels throughout last, I don't know, 15 years. Those guys have been around. So we're going to see some amazing things happening. He also said that over the next one, he said, if you thought the first 100 days were amazing, wait for the next 100 days. So I'm anticipating some great things. Hopefully we'll see them. We know how these things work out. Sometimes things change. Actually, I think that things could quite significantly change when it comes to the Earth. So we'll see, what happens. Hopefully that will be postponed, or maybe it won't happen at all. But looks like we're headed for some serious Earth activity. One of the things I'm also looking at, and the world is looking at, of course, is the Russian advance that's happening in Ukraine. Just over the last 24 hours, 64 square kilometers were taken. And I believe, like I've said, they're going to take Odessa. And I think Odessa is definitely one of the targets. It'll stop all the movement that's coming out of Ukraine and also going into Ukraine. So they won't be able to get any more arms and shipments and so forth. They have to come the long way around through Poland and the rest of Europe. Europe is collapsing. That's another thing that Major General Vallely talked about, how Europe has allowed, illegal aliens to come and basically destroy their civilization, absolutely destroy it, and they're doing nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. It's getting worse by the day, and they're doing nothing. Not like America. Hungary has Orban, and Italy has Meloni. But the rest of Europe has no one, and they're going to collapse. And they're trying to push this war with Russia, which is a no-win for them. So they're just going to keep dumping probably money, material, and on the underground side of things, they're going to keep pushing some of their people to go in there and fight. And they're going to get annihilated. They're being annihilated. All the people that are going in there and fighting are just being slaughtered by the Russians. So the death count there is every day is like close to 1,000 Ukrainians are dying. Very, very tragic. It'd be nice to see it stop, but Russia has said that it will not deal with the current government of Ukraine because it's not elected. They stopped elections, and they've imposed a military, emergency. They're under attack, so they can't have elections. Of course, everyone can have elections. During the Civil War, there was elections here in the United States. Everyone has elections except for Ukraine, because Ukraine is corrupt, and you can't make a deal with a country that's corrupt. They don't have a legal government. So Russia's basically called them out, said, yeah, you guys are going to have to vote. We'll deal with the people that you vote in, the people of Ukraine vote in, but we're not going to deal with this criminal group that's basically being supported and funded and propped up by Europe, NATO countries, right? So we're not going to see any kind of win for Ukraine. They're going to continue to lose. They're going to continue to lose land, and their ability to wage war against Russia is going to be crippled, if not completely annihilated, and they'll never come back. Never, ever come back. And they shouldn't, because they basically stems all the way back to, I believe, Nazi Germany. So that's one of the good things that's happening. It's not good that people are dying, of course, but it is excellent that Ukraine is being, taken out as a world leader of human child trafficking, adrenochrome, and all the other criminal activities to do, money laundering for the Democrat and leftist parties of Europe. So all that's being destroyed. Of course, it's being supported by all these groups, and they'll continue to support it until this basically, obviously, Russia annihilates it. So other things I'm looking at are the increasing seismicity that's happening around the world, volcanic activity that's happening around the world. So our own Kilauea in Hawaii has unbelievable fountain. It's been fountaining. It's like, I don't know, it's in double digit fountaining. It started out with just a little bit of lava coming out, and then it stopped, and then it would start again in a few days. There'll be more lava coming out, going to a higher and higher level, 100 feet, 200 feet, 500 feet. Now it's 1,000 feet. So watch this. This is crazy.
Into the Space Weather Report, I just want to show you what's been happening at Kilauea Volcano in Hawaii, the Big Island, because we have this massive lava fountain that erupted just yesterday, and this is the latest in a sequence of eruptions at Kilauea Volcano. There's been dozens now, and they've been getting bigger each time. So this goes back quite some time, and it just shows how, at least with Hawaii, there's been an increasing amount of volcanism. This is about 1,000 feet tall right there. So 300 plus meters. Really, really insane. And I think this is speaking to some of the deeper changes that are occurring with the planet as it relates to the mantle and convection dynamics, because we also have, for example, axial seamount off the coast of Oregon and Washington. That looks very likely to erupt this year, 2025. We have what's happening at Camp Gray, the exponential increase in seismicity, and also gas emissions and uplift. And that's been having a variety of seismic bursts last year and this year. Our big player that will be close to Earth center direct around the time of that Mercury Cazimi. But what will be even a little bit closer to that bullseye zone is 4099, which has rapidly grown on the sun and has a lot of magnetic complexity. So let's look at our intensity graph. Here we have our latest 2-day intensity gram of the sun, showing all the sunspots on the Earth-facing side. And you'll notice that we have two big sunspot groups that just rotated in off the western limb. It's these sunspots that can trigger solar storms and therefore geomagnetic storms here on Earth, because they can explode due to their magnetic complexity, and then you have this release of plasma, sometimes a coronal mass ejection. If that lines up and hits the Earth, a solar storm impact, that can then trigger a geomagnetic storm, which is increased geomagnetic volatility across the planet. There's a variety of downstream effects from that, geophysically.
All right, so that is basically what's been going on for quite some time, for several months now. Geomagnetic activity has been increasing. We've been seeing a large increase in earthquake activity, volcanic activity here on Earth, tsunami potential from many of these earthquakes, but we haven't had a major tsunami yet. But I believe we're moving in that direction. It's like I said, it feels like it's coming. I got a bad feeling about this one. So it is one of those things that can cause massive trauma. It will, I believe, cause massive trauma when it does hit. How much remains to be seen. So it's not just in the United States, off the coast of Oregon, and of course Kilauea, exhibiting greater and greater volcanism. It's basically the lava is coming out, fountaining at greater and greater heights. Of course, that fills the caldera every time it erupts, and eventually, once that caldera is filled, it spills over and starts to affect the local environment, homes, and so forth, like we've seen in the past. So, one thing that can happen is the volcanic activity. You can have a phreatic eruption, which is basically an explosive eruption. And at Campi Flegrei, it looks like that is what we're moving towards. So that would be devastating. Around the area of Naples, of course, we've seen that in the past, Pompeii. But this is a super volcano. which is looking like it's going to erupt and explode, not just push magma out, but actually explode. So let's listen to this.
We could have first a phreatic explosion that opens everything up and makes way for the magma to come, for a magmatic eruption. And that's early when Shizzy would hit the Fizian area. So volcanic eruptions is the one thing where we see these pictures of the lava spewing out. But what about phreatic explosions? You might remember White Island. That came suddenly. Nobody expected it, and all these tourists, it was a tragedy. They're steam-driven blasts. They cause when hot, pressurized gas and fluid suddenly find a way out through a crack, a vent, or a cap rock that finally gives in. And you can imagine if through that cap rock we have a phreatic eruption, explosion, that opens up the cap rock even further. And unlike magmatic eruptions where you see the magma coming up, you see the earthquake, these phreatic eruptions, they don't give much warning. They're like, boom, they're here. So the authors of this study make it clear, quote, seismic activity and the potential of a phreatic explosion should be considered as plausible scenarios. And why does this matter? Because right now, most hazard models still focus on magma ascent as the main trigger. So as long as no magma is ascending, everything is safe, don't worry, go back to your homes, get on with your lives. But this study proves that danger doesn't just need magma, it just needs pressure. And the pressure is already here. So this gas-rich reservoir beneath Pozzoli is not only large, it is confined, and it is connected directly to the zones of uplift. This is precisely, and I want to make this clear, this is precisely.
So just like we talked about in the beginning with Kilauea, the magma has been increasing. It's, fountaining higher every time. Now it's at 1,000 feet. So you're seeing the magma, but there can be pressures that are building, like we see in Campi Flegrei, where the pressures are building and building and building, but you're not seeing the magma yet. You're seeing an uplift in the earth, which they've been experiencing for years now, actually. Their harbor, because there's such an uplift, their harbor has been, they've had to move. They've had to push the piers out further and further to take in ships and so forth. This has happened in the past in other areas throughout the world during the time frame of Naples, when Naples was hit, when Pompeii was hit. So we've seen, excuse me, these eruptions happen in the past, and we're moving into a similar occurrence, I believe, a similar time frame where we're going to see this solar activity from the sun, which is, it sounds like we're coming up on a period where it's going to be even more intense. It's been coming in more and more intense. So now we're coming, within the next week or two, we're coming into a period where it looks like it's really going to kick. So because this has been building, because it's been building off the coast of California, Oregon, because it's been building in many volcanoes, but the Kilauea has been showing us that it's building. The pressure is building, and it's getting ready to blow. And if it gets enough energy from the sun, it's going to blow. And it looks like that's coming.
Obviously, the setup for a phreatic, I'll call it detonation. So are we experiencing history repeating? Let's think about Monte Nuovo when that new crater was formed in 1538. This is not the first time that Campi Flegrei is giving us warnings. In 1538, the ground began to...
So the same situation, 1538, exact same scenarios happening right now. And look at that crater that was created. Now imagine all these people now. It was not that populated back then when it wiped out the surrounding environment and the people. Now we're looking at 500 to 700,000 people. And she's bringing a lot of scientists are sounding the alarm. They're saying it's worse than we thought. Scientists reveal hidden danger beneath the volcano Campo Flegrei in Naples, Italy. So she's giving, Silky is giving, deeper insights. She's been on this. She's been on this for quite some time, bringing this to everybody's attention. And we, just like all the other people that are watching the volcanoes and stuff, where all of us are saying this is going to come to a very dramatic event, and it's not just going to be in one place. It's going to be multiple places throughout the earth.
Seismicity increased, cracks opened, steam hissed out. So it's not a sign pressure is releasing, there's steam coming out, all good. And then, without magma ever reaching the surface first, the earth exploded, forming Monte Nuovo, a new volcano. This looks like a crater. And this study draws a direct line from that event to today's crisis. The same exact patterns are happening again. And this time, there's over 500,000 people, 500 to 700,000 people living in the red zone, in the danger zone. And one of the most controversial conclusions of this study is, and I'm sure that's what's going to be discussed, they're saying their imaging provides no evidence of magma accumulation above 4 kilometers depth, where there's other studies that say there is. So that might sound like good news, right? Good news. It's not that high up the magma, but of course, it is not, guys. It is not. I need to have another sip of my coffee here. Yeah, this video is getting long, guys. I hope you're still here.
All right, so buy her coffee. All right. When I first started talking about Silky's channel, I think she had like 70 or 80,000. It looked like she's up to 92,000. She gets like hundreds of thousands of views on her stuff. So support her, support everybody that's trying to bring this information out. Give people insights. We're not trying to like make people scared or anything. Just have insights. I mean, a lot of those people aren't going to be able to leave. Just like a lot of people aren't going to be able to leave along the coast of Oregon and California and all the way down. Not going to be able to leave. All right. There's nothing in place to, take those people off the coast for long periods of time and have them in a safe zone. So, they're pretty much on their own, whether they, take it upon themselves to move out of those areas. It's up to them. If you have the wherewithal that you can move, it could be a good time to consider moving to a safer area, but some people just can't do that. Most people can't do that. So you're going to potentially see dramatic, if these things, erupt like we're talking about, potentially, it could be very, very dramatic. So Martha, where's the safe zone? Obviously, a safe zone is many miles away from the coastline and high up when you're considering California. Now, in those areas in Italy, they're talking like a great distance away, a great distance. So again, not everybody's going to move. Not everybody's going to move. And if we're lucky, maybe nothing will happen, right? But the warning's there, and some people are heeding the warning. They're moving. Maybe they can move in with families and so forth. Yeah, we're going to talk about Yellowstone. And Yellowstone is starting to get active. So the whole area is getting active. So let's look at some of the things, some of the earthquakes that are happening. Of course, off the coast of Oregon is the volcanic mound that is rising, obviously building in pressure, just like we're talking about there in Campo Flegrei. Just like you saw with the fountaining in Kilauea, one of the most active volcanoes in the world. But, can it like erupt on a massive level? Of course it can. It has in the past. So let's look at some of the earthquake activity. Earthquake activity always is a most often is a precursor to coming events. So as you see a buildup in earthquakes, and as earthquakes start to gain in intensity, it's pretty obvious that energy is starting to build. Now, what brings the energy? As we're seeing from the sun, we're getting increased activity coming from the sun. In the past, maybe they didn't understand that, but now we have the technology where we can actually see this and we can monitor this, and we could possibly know, if there's a major, kickoff of energy from the sun. It could be that's when you have a little warning, a day or two before all that energy hits the earth, where maybe it's time to take a little vacation from the coast. But people are going to you don't know what you're talking about. And that's what they did. The same thing in Naples, in Pompeii, and all those areas when, we had Mount Vesuvius erupt. Same thing. People were giving warnings and they didn't heed the warnings. And then you had that phreatic, explosion, and it sent a shock wave down the mountain, which basically cooked everybody because it's thousands of degrees in heat. And then the ash started coming, and it fell and it fell and it fell. And then it covered everything and it buried everything. And those cities were lost for, thousands of years. And then somebody's like, I think there was a city here at one time. And then they started digging and they found a little wall here. And then now the rest is history. They're still uncovering Pompeii, still uncovering it. And Herculaneum next to it. Herculaneum got hit by a mud flood, a mudslide. So that's another thing that's happening. I think it's in Switzerland, where they have a lot of earthquake activity, and there's a huge glacier that's starting to crack. There's problems with the city that's down in this valley. They've had to evacuate the city, and I think one of the hotels, you just had 10 people that were trapped because this volcanic activity and earthquake activity all over the world, not just in these areas that I'm talking about. I could take you all around the world and you could see this stuff. So here is West Coast earthquake activity, and then we'll look at some Yellowstone quakes.
Tremor basically kicked up around the 7th of this month, and we're well over 10,000 epicenters of Cascadia tremor out there, 11,142.
So 11,142. So you guys know that several days ago we were talking 7,200. Now we're at 11,000. So obviously the earthquake activity is increasing. That's a lot of earthquakes. Yeah, they're little, but it's energy. Every time one of those quakes goes off, it's either weakening a wall or it's dispersing energy somewhere along the line. So this is one of the things we have to be aware of. So look at all those earthquakes. Wow. It's a warning. It's always a warning.
The majority of it down here across the southern end, and I think that's why we've been seeing a lot of earthquake activity out here, specifically down here across that triple point boundary in the extreme southern end of the Cascadia megathrust zone. A couple shallower earthquakes up here. This is crustal quakes, indicative there of stress and strain.
Okay, so what he's showing here are the fault lines. So you see how these fault lines come together. And I think this is out here. This is where the seamount is, somewhere out in here. So you're seeing a lot of earthquakes in that one area.
Tremor activity that's occurring underneath this region. But just today, one earthquake. We'll continue to watch that, though. I think we'll see maybe at least one or two more throughout the day today. And we'll check on the tremor counts a little bit later on this evening. The Bay Area, San Francisco here, a couple more earthquakes overnight since last night's update, a 1.7 and a 2.0 just outside the Pacifica area. Got a little bit of swarming going on here. That is just off the San Andreas Fault. Around that same time period there across Yellowstone National Park. Now, if we go and look at the overview here, You can see a couple of those earthquakes there from yesterday. 2.7 is going to be right here. Looks like.
All right, so there looks like some swarming that's going on in Yellowstone. Let's see if I can pull it up and give you guys a little bit better view of that. This is USGS. You guys can look at this yourself. You can pull up USGS earthquakes. Just type that in if you want to keep track of this stuff. I think this is a good time to keep track of this stuff if you're in that area. All right. So here is the big map. You can move out and you can see all the earthquake activity all around the Ring of Fire. As you see, it's starting to in New Zealand where it starts. Pretty much, it's pretty good size ones. Let's see, what's that one? That's a 6.0. That happened. When was that? The 25th. So 2 days ago. It's a pretty good size one. The depth of it was, let's see, what was the depth? 48 kilometers down. So not too deep, kind of shallow. And then you have one that's 5.0 that's 540 kilometers. So deep one like that will normally translate. That was the 25th of 27th. So that was today. So you're going to get lots of earthquake activity when you get a big one. It seems like a lot of activity is happening in New Zealand right now. And then as you see, it travels along the fault lines up past Japan, and then comes up through Alaska. And look at all the earthquake activity that's happening up through Alaska. So it's basically taking that energy and thrusting it up here. Now it curves down and it starts to come down here. And as you guys can see, Hawaii's getting a lot of earthquakes, getting swarmed with Kilauea. And then you're seeing the swarms that are happening up all the way up and down the quake zone, the Cascadia quake line. So from Vancouver up here at the top, all the way down into Baja, California. And then you see it wraps around through Vegas and then goes up into Idaho and Yellowstone area up here in Montana. So that's where you're seeing some more swarms up here in the Yellowstone area. So it sounds like it's starting to kick here in Yellowstone now. So we have to keep an eye on that. Of course, that's a major caldera, which would, if that went, that would just basically devastate a large portion of many of these states. Utah would probably go underwater, get blasted like people have predicted in the past. And a good part of Utah, a little chunk of Wyoming, Nevada, and so forth. So that's a massive caldera that if it blew, like we're talking about, it had that phreatic eruption, then you're going to see, quite a lot of devastation, just like in Campi Flegrei. If that blows, that will alter the Mediterranean and Europe. And if obviously we have the Cascadia eruption quake, that will inundate a large portion of the coast of Vancouver all the way down into Peru. All right, so that would probably, some people were saying 100 foot, tsunami. Now 100-foot tsunami, you say, well, I'm at 150 feet, a couple miles away from the coastline. I should be good. Well, you're going to have a sloshing event, and you're going to have a carrying of that energy. So even though it's 100 foot, it can carry much further, deeper into, and we've seen this. You can see, geologics of the California coast all the way down Oregon, Washington, so forth. There's been tsunamis, been many tsunamis in the past. 12,000 years ago, which is normally they come every 12,000 years ago. 12,000 years, you get major activity like we're having again, and then you get these massive tsunamis that some of us are seeing coming. Right? Doesn't mean they will. Human consciousness can have an effect on this stuff, so that's why we want to give you guys a warning. So yeah, movie Deep Impact – Virginia, tsunami caused by a comet. Yeah. So there's, and of course there is the problem with the sun causing a lot of activity. And that's, if I've done a lot of research in this over many decades and seen all of the different activities in the mountains of Maine. There's whale bones, right? So these tsunamis can really reach up there, guys, and reach across large swaths of land. Now, I would say if you're probably 100 plus feet and many miles away from the coastline, you got a better chance than if you're on the coastline trying to run for the hills when the tsunami warning hits. Everybody's going to be doing that, right? The roads are going to be clogged, and it's going to be like those disaster movies where people are just going to get out of the cars and start running. You're not going to be able to cover a lot of different distance running. So it's better if you just keep an eye on stuff as this stuff gets closer. Usually, I can feel it. I've been fairly good with doing the earthquakes, especially in California. But that was when I lived in California, so I don't live over there now. So I don't know. I'm just trying to give you guys a heads up. It could be, could be devastating. Could be. And of course, we've had all the disaster films. It's kind of like preloading, what they see coming. Maybe some people have, maybe some people have seen this in the future, like myself, and a lot of people have. A lot of people have seen this in future, but it was supposedly going to happen before 2012, and the 2012 came and went, and so it never happened. So that's a good thing. I think consciousness basically had an effect. So will consciousness have an effect again? Depends on if enough people get involved with it. So if you have most people say, "Oh, that's bullshit. You can't predict earthquakes and you can't see into the future. That's devil stuff." Then you're going to blow it off, and you're unfortunately part of the problem. Then, right? So because we need people that are of high voltage, right? Good energy that can transform energies that are coming in and dissipate them, or push them in a good direction and make things happen in a positive way. So that's why we're pushing this information out there. Now, RFK Jr. announces COVID-19 shot removed, yay, from CDC schedule for kids and for pregnant women. So victories coming and continuing to come. So says, I couldn't be more pleased to announce that as of today, the COVID vaccine for healthy children and healthy pregnant women has been removed. So wouldn't someone that is not healthy be more? Yes, would be more susceptible to vaccination. We've seen that. So I guess this is a way they get it in, guys. They start somewhere. Oh, they're healthy. There's no reason for them. The evidence doesn't support them getting the vaccination. But if they're at risk, they're at risk if they're at risk to getting vaccination, in my opinion. And that's what's been proven. So anyway, it is a little bit of a victory. Pyrrhic victory, maybe better than a Pyrrhic victory, because those kinds of victories usually turn out to be bad. But this, I think, is we took the walls, we broke open the gate. We're about ready to storm the city of the CDC, horrible corruption, and take that bad city down. Last year, the Biden administration urged healthy children to get yet another COVID shot, despite the lack of any clinical data to support the repeat booster strategy in children. So again, another reason why Biden is at the top of the list for being arrested, right? So he's a criminal. He did business with China. His son did business with China. It's all done. It's all known, right? So he got bought off and paid. By China. So, and now we have like thousands of Chinese here in the United States, and we've had drones that have been flying over military bases, and then the Chinese students at, universities that were flying them ran, and they got caught before they got away. That happened on the East Coast. There was a Chinese gentleman that was flying a drone over a military base. The locals got involved and called the police. The police showed up and took his information, passed it on to the FBI. Meanwhile, he's like on flights trying to fly. He's about ready to fly out from, I guess, Washington State. Of course, that's a great place where Chinese run and hide and do bad things. But he was there. He was getting ready to get on a flight, and the FBI showed up. And after they got his information and arrested him, stopped him from flying out. Right. So, and then they learned that he was working with the military, and the military had sent him over to get this information. So, crazy stuff, guys. And this stuff is going on every day in the United States, every day on a massive scale. So that's why we need, and like we talked about with the Major General Vallely, is why we need Patriot Guard and 3,200 different, communities around the United States. So there's no, all that is just a concept. We talked about it. It's just a concept. So there's no plan for it. You can go to your local, which I plan to do at some point when I get settled. There's a plan. You can go to your local VFW or go to your local sheriff. Tell them that you're interested in being part of a posse to help out. Maybe some type of Patriot Guard militia where you all work together, train, have each other's numbers. You'll be emergency. A lot of people do this already. When I was in a place in Florida, I can say where, but former CIA got elderly man and his wife, both of them former CIA, and they work with the local police, volunteer, and a couple times a month they go out and they do checkups. They have their own. They're given a squad car and radios and everything. And if there's somebody that is hasn't families called on them or something, they go and do those checks. So they're helping out the local community, and they've discovered quite a bit. And some things were bad, and then they had the police show up and do arrests and all kind of crazy stuff. So there are things that you can do for your community and for your police department. So I intend to get involved in that, and you can too. So start to look at that as a possibility. So definitely counties all over the United States could definitely use that. All the graduate students of U of H are Chinese for the last 40 years. They raided the Houston embassy in Trump's first term. That's right. I remember that. And remember how they went in and they were going to go into the consulate, embassy, whatever there, in somewhere in Texas and Houston, I think it was. And they were going to raid it. And the Chinese knew that, so they started doing burns. They had barrels outside the embassy in some kind of courtyard, and they were taking all kinds of files and stuff and burning them. They were cleaning. CIA controls Austin. Do you think so? Maybe. That's crazy, right? So a lot of you guys were you look at that and you're like, no, CIAs, they do stuff all over the world. Well, when I was in the CIA and I was hunting terrorists overseas, I would hear from people that I work with. There were case officers, CIA case officers and so forth, that they were looking forward to going back to the United States and getting a cushy job in California. What are you doing working in California field office? Right? They aren't supposed to be overseas. Yes. But they're all in every single state, guys, CIA offices. So they're watching us, making sure we're not naughty according to their plans for I don't know, world domination. So Austin is effed, just saying. Yeah, it's gone liberal, down the liberal shithole, unfortunately. Used to be a beautiful city. I remember visiting there, and even when I visited there, God, I think it was like 15 years ago. Was it 15? Maybe 10? Maybe more like 10 years ago. No, it's definitely 15 or more years ago. 20? Geez, I don't know. It was a while ago, not the 20, but it was a while ago when my first book came out, The Intuitive Wars, and that was like 12 years ago. Okay, so 12 years ago. And there it was, the roads were like all screwed up like you see in Democrat cities. They were all like go around to nowhere. Like some contractor got a lot of money to do stupid roads. And then they have and somebody got the payoff for that, I'm sure, in the Democrat Party. And then they have like homeless everywhere. Even like 12 years ago, they had homeless everywhere. And I hear it's like just ridiculous now. So it is sad. The Democrats, I was trying to coax, because I know he feels the same way, but he's political. He's trying not to go off on the tangent like I do. I was trying to get Major General McInerney admit that, like he's done in his work, that the Dems are a real problem, right? So, but he was very political. He was good. He's a good man, right? I'm not trying to get him in trouble. It's like some people will speak out, like me, and some people won't. It is what it is. You try and stay along a certain line, and you can appeal to more people. When you push against the beast, like I do, then you're going to get pushed back, and you're not going to get as many views. So, and that's understandable. There's some really bad rhinos too. Yes, of course. Yeah. And both of us agree that political parties need to go away. It should be a person's merit. What have they done? Why should we consider anyone for a political office? What have you done? What have you achieved? What will you bring to the table? And can we see you do something in the first 100 days? And if you're a bullshitter, then you're like gone. That's the way it should be. Everyone should have been like, oh, Biden, bad. Obama, bad. Bush, bad. Both Bushes. All right. So it's a rigged system, and we're not in it. So, and we just have to suffer from them. And how is that? How did that ever happen? It's like the revolution. We're worse off than the revolution right now. It's like crazy. It's a slow drip. It's turn the heat up slowly, and the frog boils. It's like, oh, like so comfortable here, and you like go sleepy, and then you boil up. You're dead, right? That's the way most people are, unfortunately. Let the rhinos keep the Republican Party. Yeah, like in nowhere in America. Like let them keep it in their minds, but it doesn't exist anywhere. That's really the way it should be. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. That's right, Jesse. Right? That's a great one. Trey Gowdy promised the same thing. 6 years of revenge. Nothing happened. So yeah, exactly. Trey Gowdy is just like a lot of people from South Carolina, right? A lot of those men from South Carolina are just full of hot air and nothing else. Very sad. But, I'd say 99% of politicians are just hot air. Really. Who have you really seen that really did good work other than President Trump? And I want to say Reagan, but I know Reagan was part of some bad stuff. So that's come out over time. There is a silent majority, but we need to stop being silent. We need to come out and start talking like I'm doing. All right. So, and then pass it around. We need a real revolution. The MAGA revolution is a controlled revolution to keep the people under control. And I think, Trimaster, there is something to be said about that. I think there is, it's not moving the way we would like it to move, but it has at least, moved things the way they should be. and it's a process. So will MAGA be in the future? When Trump is gone, will there be MAGA? Probably not. So we need to be looking into the future. What's going to happen in 3 years from now? Who's going to be the next person that's going to be elected for the president? Who's going to be? Is it going to be Republican and Democrat still, and some lone independent with a few people that back them? Right? It sucks. It's a suck system. We all know it sucks. So why can't we just create something else? Yeah. Why can't we? Yeah, we should do that. Yeah. So the future is Trump's son. Geez, you think Trump's son's going to come in there? He's never done a political office. I've heard both of them speak. They have some good. There's some good stuff, but they're not charismatic like Trump, right? So you need somebody with a lot of charisma and a lot of, I've been there, done that type stuff. They're obviously now because Trump. Everybody tried to say Trump was born in a silver spoon in his mouth and he got all this money. Yeah, he got some money, but he turned millions into billions. So who can do that? Not a lot of people. So he took that knowledge and he took the interaction that he had with politicians, especially New York, and he saw what needed to be fixed, and he was approached by the White Hats and Q team, and they're like, we think you could represent. And so he's like, I'm a little old, and they're like, that's okay, we got your back. We won't let you get shot. Right? And so there he is. And then Barron is interesting. Yeah, Barron's interesting young man. He's got a lot of charisma. So we'll see. Super smart. It will be interesting. And probably from Pleiades or something. I don't know, like his mom. But who knows? Arlene, I have what? Charisma. That's right. I care. That's right. Good, Arlene. I agree with that. I have a lot of charisma. I care a lot. But because I care a lot, does I get things done? No. The only way I can get things done is to, go against the, mainstream media lie machine. And then, of course, they have this, information war that's going against us, that's coming at us from not just the mainstream media, but from social media, from politicians. They all just kind of conspire. It's like, okay, this is going to be our talking points. And we're going to super, super hammer it. Of course, we're coming after Joe Biden for being a idiot. We know that wasn't Joe Biden, but the person that was playing Joe Biden was a complete idiot. He did a really good job. He's a great actor, right? So we won a Nobel Prize. So it's probably, can we get the team that played Joe Biden up on stage now? We're going to give all of you guys the award for best supporting actor, and I don't know. So, and then you have, President Trump, who's brilliant and has done great things. And President Trump is pointing out, well, Biden didn't even know he was alive. Yeah, because he wasn't, right? And but just kind of playing with it. He's fumbling, dropping on steps and running up steps and getting tripped up over and over again. It's funny he didn't fall down steps, isn't it? So, and then he's trying to shake somebody's hand, imaginary hand. He's like hallucinating on stage in front of everybody, and he would talk, and then he'd just zone out. It's like, we asked you a question about Social Security, and you're telling us about your son that died, and you don't even know when he died. So it's like on and on and on. Great reveal, and still Democrats love Democrat Party. They all stick together. They all vote the same way because they are trying to destroy America. And if they destroy America, then they know they can have it for themselves and rebuild it as a communist dictatorship. So now they're trying to say that Trump. I just recently heard they're saying, yeah, he's got heart problems and he's got brain fog and all this stuff. It's like every time these guys play that game and say, you guys are racist, and like, you guys are the worst racist in history. Remember the Civil War Democrats, right? So, and you didn't vote for, voting for blacks, and you didn't vote for voting for women, and on and on and on. But yet you guys are still around. I can't understand it. So anyway, there are, going to be attacks against Trump. It's the same stuff. They're going to point the finger. Oh, look at Trump. He's like, duh. Look at Biden. Are you kidding me? Wow. I mean, how stupid do we have to be to like point out that Trump has been like stellar. So the whole world loves Trump, and except for the Democrat Party, and they're always trying to tear him down. It's disgusting. It's completely and utterly disgusting. Yeah, Republicans freed the slaves, Dems not so much. And then when the Republican Party was a lot of freed slaves, they made the Republican Party, in my opinion, and the Democrats didn't like that, so they started the KKK, and they started coming after those Republicans, black Republicans, and stringing them up and burning crosses on their lawn. Like, you better start voting for Democrat. So, I mean, you look at Hillary Clinton. Who did she say was, she loved that one West Virginian senator that was head of the KKK. What was his name? So, geez. And then when that came out, it all went silent. All went silent. So, who was that clown? Let me look that up. Bird. That's right. Okay. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, Bird. Dirty Bird. Right. Yep. Robert Byrd. Art on the Lake. Yep. And who got it first? Old School got it first. Nope. Miss Mundersue. You got it first. Good job. You win. He's like, bam, got it. Hit it. Yeah, so Robert Byrd, KKK guy. So let me pull that up. We'll put up. They probably even have him in a. If you can even see it now, they used to, like, you could do a Google search and you find it, but probably Google is like taking it off because it's against community standards or something. Bird. Robert, the Bird, the Dirty Bird. KKK leader. Images. Can I get a KKK outfit for Robert Byrd? I don't see him. But they used to have them. Used to go look on here and you could see, Robert Byrd. And here we see, I'll just go ahead and share this. We'd see Robert and Hillary having the kiss of death type thing. So there you go. Hillary Clinton kissed by former Klan member. No, he wasn't a member of the Klan. He was the leader of the Klan for West Virginia. Yeah. So fact check, did Joe Biden attend KKK? Fact check says no. So I'm looking for him in his cloak. I remember seeing some, and he was all proud of it. And of course, there was a time frame where that was totally acceptable in the South and revered. Not good, right? Amy, that's a good way to put it. She was a nasty fug. Glad she's gone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, baddie. Oh, that's right. Kathy O'Brien blew the whistle on him. That's right. Yep. And brought him down, or part of helping bring him down. So we might have, I think Kathy's been reaching out. She might have her back on. So it looks like she's got something she wants to reveal again. So it'll be good. Always good to have Kathy on. Man, what a beautiful soul. Jeez. Under extreme pressure, right? Extreme KKK pressure, right? All kind of like horrible stuff going on. And Kathy O'Brien talked about how she was Reagan's. Yep. So that's why I can't go like Reagan was greatest. Nope, I can't do that. Not anymore. So anyway, well, you can still admire his work. He definitely did a lot of work. Still got KK and our government, just under a different face. Oh yeah, absolutely. Illuminati, KKK. What else? Lots of what else's. So just clean the whole place down. Just burn it to the ground. No, we can't do that because it's still a lot of good stuff in there, in the Capitol, and we've got a lot of great statues. There's one. My Iroquois Indian friend told me, "Do you know where Benjamin Franklin got the Constitution from?" I was like, "No, tell me." And he's like, "He got it from the Iroquois Nation." And I was like, "What? What?" And he's like, "Yeah. When you go into the Capitol, there's a statue of George Washington. He's looks like he's on a throne, and you look on his right, and there is Iroquois Indians, and they have like scroll stuff, like." So I guess Benjamin Franklin had it for a long time, and they had given it to him to, yeah. But one thing you can never do is have the people that are running your country get paid. If they get paid, it will ruin your country. And what we got these guys out there like getting insider information, and it's okay. And have you ever seen President Trump get paid? No, he doesn't get paid. He's the politician that doesn't get paid. He's like, just take my pay and donate it. So he donates his pay to different charities and all kind of great stuff. So he's never been paid. Interesting, right? So I guess he knows that, right? He knows about that. So he could probably do some good things for the American Indian. I hope he does, right? We talked about that earlier. All right, so Lakeside Laura, where are you at in here? I know in the when I used to have the old channel, you were on my team. You need a wrench. See if we can find you. Looking at you over here on StreamYard. Let me go over to YouTube. So we like to have a lot of not a whole lot, but we like to have people that can do this stuff, can go in and stop the baddies. Yeah. So you just heard me talking. Right. So Lakeside Laura, where are you at? And so I really appreciate, I mean, you guys, this is one of the things I really missed about YouTube. You guys like fire it up when it comes to chatting. And when you go into, after I do a video, there's like 1,000 plus, comments and stuff. And I love to go through them. I can't go through all of them, of course, but I love to go through them and see the comments. It's absolutely amazing. We used to have a lot of riffraff that would come in, but you guys have done an exceptional job. Is when Lakeside Laura and I started talking. Like I said, Laura, just make a comment and then I can make you give you a wrench. I don't see you in. Thought I saw you make a comment earlier. I don't see you now. And if you're in there, if you're not, then maybe I can go back through and get you. If you don't want it, you can just always toss it. But I know you had it in the past, and you don't always have to use it. And then Ronnie, you also had one as well. So if I see you guys in the chat, I'll give you guys a wrench. Tron Master, you want a wrench? You get some great comments and you're a good contributor. I appreciate that. So we're going to give you a wrench too. Or add you as a moderator. Thank you very much. All right, Tron Master. Make a comment now, Tron Master. See if you got your wrench. There it is. Woo! Whippy! All right. So it's always good. I need to turn the anger to love for Jaco's live streams. That's good. Morning sign. That's good. Yeah. So that's a good motivator for you to come in. I like that. And this is a place to be loving. All right. Good. I love that. That's good because that's the way it should be. Because love, of course, is the love is good. Yes. Ed Gray. See, there's a guy that knows it. So if more of us can, recognize that. Ed Gray, where'd you say that? Oh, you're in? God, I'm way down. You guys are like hammering it. So I saw it over here. There it is. Love is good. Love is great. Ed Gray. Good man. I'd like to see the men recognize the love vibration as a very powerful tool for defeating evil. All right. Not a lot of people know. What about Yellowstone? That one goes. We're all goners. Not all of us. I mean, it's gone before. Obviously, it didn't destroy the earth, or it didn't destroy all the. It probably knocked the hell out of the woolly mammoths that were around that area. But other than that, we can work around that. I think a lot of people have asked me over the years if it was going to go off. I didn't see it going off, but to tell you the truth, I'm kind of feeling that there's a possibility now. It's kind of a low possibility, whereas before it was like 0. Now it's starting to get up into like 15, 20% possibility. That's what I'm feeling. That can increase, unfortunately, rapidly, but as it is right now, there is more vibrational activity that's happening in that area. Upwelling, I think we might start to see that. But I think most of it's going to happen along the coast first. So you'll see the coast basically get hammered, and then as you saw how it would whip up into Idaho and Montana and so forth. There's a fault line that goes back up that way. So the energy comes down along the coast and some of it goes back up there. So it's not like it's probably in the past where it was like a straight line energy into it and it blew at one point. I think most of it's going to be Washington State's only going to get hit by initially the tsunami, and I think then the earthquakes are going to start to kick in. Now the earthquakes, not the earthquakes, but the volcanic activity. So we'll probably get a real good, unfortunately, earthquake off the coast. That this seems to be a way it works, has worked in the past too, where you get massive tsunami, and then the earthquakes start to go off. I mean, the volcanoes start to go off. So you have, Rainier and all those other, big volcanoes are along the inside. So I've walked up Pacific Crest Trail, and I remember going through Oregon. It's about midway through Oregon, and it's like one vast lava field. It's like crazy. And you got a trail that goes through it. It's like, wow, it's insane how much lava came out of there. So, and I don't think it's not that long ago. So some people have said it wasn't. All right. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm going to chat for just a few more minutes. I want to see the eyeballs go over 1,000. It's 970 right now. So let's see if we can get 1,000. Right. I'm a big kid. So, but I like to win. I like to win. I'm a winner. So, you guys have been pumping the subscription up in the channel. The channel subscriptions are way up for YouTube, and I appreciate that. Once they pop over 1,000 or 100,000, then it gets more views. It gets more people coming in. So, of course, we want people to see this information and be able to digest this information and use this information in their lives. So that's ideally, what we're doing here, getting information out to people that they can use and have a better life. Have a better life. Now, today the stock market went kaboom. It went up big. Now, I think that we may be seeing a blow off, like a volcanic phreatic explosion in the just before it's going to rise and it's going to blow, and then it's going to go to nothing, right? So we've been projecting that for quite some time. I thought there was a good potential that we would see a blow off top. I thought we may have seen it. We had a double top in the stock market a few months back, and I called it double top, and we're going to see this thing go down. So it went down. So a lot of fear in the market. When you get a lot of fear in the market, usually that's a turning point. Now we got a lot of people that are liking things, but you have a wall of worry. So you have a lot of people saying it's gonna go down, it's gonna go down, and that's the wall of worry. And usually, stock market can go up on that. So we may be seeing that. Of course, this thing has no bearing on what's really going on in the economy. The economy is toast, absolute toast. Home prices are collapsing. Jobs are collapsing. Although they're saying, there's more jobs. No, there's not. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are losing jobs. And maybe they're just going into other fields. And that's a possibility. And that will be good in and of itself. Because we need to build a new economy. The old economy, just like the old political establishment, is corrupt and needs to just go away. All right. So I think we're making that transition. Will there be, destruction and so forth that happens along the way? Yes. And destruction on a physical level, probably, and on the different levels. Destruction of the political parties, destruction of the educational system, which is incredibly corrupt, and many other things. So home prices are way too expensive, it's ridiculous, and that's been exploited and driven high. I saw that the average age of someone that buys their first home now is 59 years old. Are you kidding me? Holy moly, that's ridiculous. So, I mean, a lot of people are going to be like, what are you talking about? The housing price is going to collapse. It'll hurt a lot of people. It'll help a lot more. All right. So, I mean, if you own your home, who cares? If I got a $10 million home and I own it, and prices collapse to like $1 million for the home or less, it's like, I don't care. I'm living here. I'm going to stay here. So some point it'll probably go back up, or be valuable at some point. So, but a lot of people don't own their home, unfortunately, and that's where we have problems. So 4,800 per dinar now. That's the thing? That's good if that's true. I got a lot of dinar. I want it to go. Oh, it's $9.99 right now. All right, 666 in reverse. So, look, I remember when I had my first YouTube channel. I was so proud, and the numbers were going up. You get 10, and I was like, it's 10. Let 10 more people subscribe, and it slowly went up, and then it got close to 666, and then it got 666, and then somebody came in. Look, see, it's 666. And I was like, yeah, that's the number it is before 665, before 667, clown. Go away. Yeah. So we don't get too much of that in the chat. Now, one thing I have to tell you guys once again, because it happens. 999 inverted. Funny, right? So it does happen is you will get hit up. And I don't think it's going to end anytime soon, guys. You're going to get hit up for money. I don't do that. Most of the people that are in my group, we don't do that. Oh, it's 1,004. Thank you. We don't do that. So don't chat with anybody that says they're me trying to get money from you guys. I don't do that. I absolutely do not do that. I know, unfortunately, some people are like, oh, Michael Jaco, look, he's talking to me. It's not me. It's not me. I'll do that. And so if you see that, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't get scammed, guys. Still happening. Now we have people that like monitor that stuff, and they're trying to go in and inform people that it is a scam. This person's trying to scam you. And those people are being like, if it's Rumble's really bad now. They will get that taken off. It's like somewhere, somehow Rumble is coming. Some people are in Rumble that are coming in and taking away our warnings. I don't know if that's happening here in YouTube. It used to be pretty bad in YouTube, but I don't see that now. But of course, there's imposters everywhere, guys. So just be heads up on that. I don't want you guys to get scammed, obviously. And Truth or Mike, yeah, we have a huge problem with scammers impersonating Michael in his Rumble channel. Think it's Truth or Mike, and Truth or Mike's all over that. He's like the head. He's a head wrench. So that's a good thing, Michael. Mike, Truth or Mike. Anyone watching can subscribe. It's a free way to support. Yeah, it's a free way to support me by subscribing and sharing. Because some of those people will support me, eventually. And the way you support me is, of course, through helping yourself with LifeWave. Right? So I'm not here to scam anybody. I'm not asking for money. But if you want to help yourself, subscribe to LifeWave, and the links are down there. So, all right, guys, thanks for pushing me over 1,000. Love to see 1,000. Hopefully we get to the point where we're seeing thousands. But it'll take a little bit of time, but I think we're getting there pretty quick. Took me a while to get 1,000 viewers, and now here we are. So good. It only takes an hour and 19 minutes now. So, 6 and a 9. Oh, stop. All right. Lots of love. We'll see you guys next time. Stay in the love vibration.